Hello, everybody, and welcome to another week of Let's Talk. I am your host, author Dre Lett. Thank you for joining us again for another fun-filled week. As I've always said, this show is to inform, inspire, and motivate, and I am so honored that you chose to be with me another week. I'm also excited to announce that I have my studio live audience back. Yay! We hit some glitches in the past and with Facebook. So apparently we are now live and I appreciate you guys. So my studio audience will be joining me and I thank you. As always, every week, as I state, you guys can purchase my books on my website at www.dtlproduct.net or on Amazon. This show can be viewed every week at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time live on Facebook on my Dre Lett page. And pre-recordings will be shown on Instagram on my author underscore Dre Lett page and on my YouTube channel, which is titled Let's Talk with author Dre Lett. Please make sure you subscribe and like and share and tell a friend and tell a friend and tell a friend. So thank you once again for joining us. We got a fun show tonight. We've got Charisse Works. She is our healthy dish prepare extraordinaire. She's going to come on and share some of her healthy dishes with us, some dishes that will keep you healthy, that taste good, and quick and easy to prepare. So she'll be on a little bit later with us. So jumping right on into hot topics. So live audience, feel free to chime in, ask questions. I'm going to check out everything you guys are saying here and see what's going on. So first off, let's start off with the hot topic, right? So I don't know about you guys, but I was so excited to see Kamala Harris again this past Wednesday night. She made history yet again as the first Black South Asian woman to accept a major party's vice presidential nomination for president with Joe Biden. I'm getting tongue-tied tonight, y'all. But anywho, she accepted it, and I am so excited. Oh my God, she made history. I think she's going to give women of all shades something to hope for with this pandemic and all the things that are going on right now. It's just a crazy time. So I think she's going to lift our spirits and she's going to do a fabulous job. Also note, she accepted the nomination, like I said, last Wednesday night on the 19th day of the 8th month, right? So that was awesome. So what do you guys think about that? I'm going to take a look at my live studio audience and see what they're thinking and what their thoughts are in regards to Kamala Harris. I know there's been a lot of negativity in the news about her and Joe Biden and all of that. And I just don't understand why people have to just be so negative and so nasty and say the things that they say. But at this point, I saw somebody put on Facebook that it doesn't matter. We all have a past. We all have made mistakes. And she is an awesome candidate. So is Joe Biden. I think they're going to do a fabulous job. Okay, let's see. What are some of the comments here? I'm looking over here at Facebook Live audience. And they are saying yes, they're clapping, yes, and they're saying awesome job. Again, it's going to give all women of all shades something to hope for. I really do seriously believe that. And we need some positivity. I'm so tired of every week we listen to the news as hatred or is negativity, or it's just something just to bring you down, right? We're already in the house and we're already feeling some kind of way, right? And then to hear a leader just constantly bash everything, and so we definitely do need that. So you guys just keep on chiming in for me. Again, I love my live audience. I am so blessed to have them watching with me. So, every week that I come on, I showcase a different person. They may have a talent or they may have a business. As long as they fall within the narrative of the show, which is inform, inspire, and motivate, I'm more than welcome to let them come on because that's my job. That's what I feel like God has called me to do, is to inform, inspire, and motivate. So, with that being said, if you all out there know of individuals that have a talent, a business, or anything that they want to share that's going to motivate, inspire, inform, please let me know. I am definitely open to it. You can hit me up on Facebook. Go to my Dre Lett page and send me a message in Messenger, or you can go on Instagram and go to my author Dre Lett page and let me know who you guys think would be good. Again, I'm looking for positive energy, energized people that's gonna inform, inspire, and motivate. So I appreciate you guys so very, very much. So let me take a look at my studio audience and see what they got to say. Again, I'm so excited that they are here. Oh, hearts, I love you guys too. Thank you so very much. I appreciate all the love and support. I see my mommy in love is watching. Hubby's watching. Hey, Keisha, I see you. How are you? Hope all is well. Hope everybody's staying safe out there and eating their veggies and boosting their immune system and exercising and getting enough rest, right? We got to do those three things so that we can just keep going and just stay energized. One of the things that I was really motivated about during watching the DNC convention was former First Lady Michelle Obama. She was on there and she was oh my gosh, her speech was just it just hit you. If it didn't inspire you, wow. But she talked about how we need positivity and how we need to do something. We all need to band together and we all need to make a change, right? So we know that voting this fall is probably, the lines are going to probably be long. It's going to be a long wait. But guess what? We got to pull out our folding chairs, pack a snack, pack a dinner, pack whatever we got, juice boxes, the whole nine, and just make sure that we stand in line to vote. And for those of you that are uncomfortable with standing in long line to vote, with the possibility exposure to COVID-19, you can always do your absentee ballot. You can mail that in. So later in the show, I'm going to go over some things that's going to talk about some tips on what you can do to get your applications in now and get those ballots in now so that we can make a change. We've all got to stick together and make a change. And one of the things that somebody mentioned during the DNC, and I can't remember who it was, but they said that, unless you're Native American, this country isn't yours. We all came here, some by force, some as a choice. Irregardless, we all came here. All of our ancestors came here from somewhere else. So when you hear the hatred of get out, go back to your country, and this, that, and the other, we have to just tune it out, ignore it, and just know that we're all going to come together and we're going to make a huge difference. So I know that's what I plan on doing. So with further ado, I would like to bring in my guest, Charisse Works. She, as I mentioned earlier, is a healthy dish preparer extraordinaire. She's going to come on and give us some tips about eating healthy and surviving during this pandemic with the foods that we choose to eat. So, with that, let's bring her on in. Take a moment for her to connect. Hey, Reese. It take a minute for your audio.
Turn it on.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine.
There you are. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, looking gorgeous as ever. So I've been pumping you up to the audience, telling them you're going to go over and share some of your awesome dishes with us. Are you ready?
Excited. I'm ready. I'm
Okay, all right. Well, let's get to it. I'm going to share my screen and we're going to get right to it.
okay.
Yes. Okay, let's see here. And there we are.
All right.
Okay, so I'm going to go right and I'm just going to turn it over to you, ma'am.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Charisse, and um, Serena asked me to come on and talk about the dishes that I like to prepare in this time of quarantine. Um, Honestly, I hate cooking, but I do it because I don't want to go out to eat, and because I'm nervous about going to places to buy food and bring it home and all of that stuff. So um, I know how to cook, and so I've been doing that and have exploring a lot of new recipes that I tend to find online, and basically I just find something that I think is tasty and I prepare it. So that being said, I'm just going to go through a couple of the several of the dishes that um, I've done over the last few weeks. And this first one is a breakfast dish. It's a veggie frittata. Um, it's very simple. Onions, mushrooms, bell peppers, um, cherry tomatoes. You can pretty much put whatever you want in it. Um, and 2 eggs and a little sprinkle of cheese, which that's a 4 cheese blend from Sargento, who's one of my favorite cheeses. So anyway, saute that up in a skillet, in a small 8-inch skillet, and then I scramble the eggs. I use a little milk because I want it to be a little bit creamy, and or almond milk because I don't drink regular milk. And then I pour it in the skillet and sprinkle a little cheese on top and put it in the broiler for about 5 minutes, depending on the broiler setting and depending on the rack placement. And so that's what it looks like when it comes out. It's fast dish. You know, I mean, you can make it for 2 people depending on your portion size. I typically split it and eat half because it could be filling for me. And I also try to watch my intake as far as overeating. And so this particular day, I made a veggie frittata, and another one of my favorite beverages, especially during this time of year, is a basil smoothie.
Ooh.
It is another very quick recipe with just ice, yogurt. I use Greek yogurt, fresh basil, obviously, lime zest, lime juice, and you can do simple syrup or you can do honey. It just depends on what you prefer to use. And I put it in my Vitamix and I blend it up and serve. And it's, some of my friends, we've made this dish before, made this drink before, and they want to put a little bit of their favorite libation in there. And you're more than welcome to do that to make it a little bit more fun. But, at 7 o'clock in the morning, I'm not putting any libation in.
It
So,
looks delicious. Oh my goodness.
yeah, it is one of my favorite. I've made this for a lot of people, and they do enjoy it. I got the recipe for some another person that I know. So
Okay.
I enjoy making it.
Wow. Ooh, this looks yummy. Now, what is that?
So this is where I start talking about my lunch and dinner portions or dinner meals. I try to do a lot of fresh vegetables, a lot of fresh everything, a lot of fresh stuff. Very little processed foods and prepackaged foods, just because of all of the sodium and the preservatives and all the other junk that they put in there that kind of are not good for you. And so I try to keep it as clean as possible. So that means I go to the grocery store twice a week, or excuse me, twice every 2 weeks. I went today actually, and so I'll figure out what I'm going to prepare, and then I'll buy all the ingredients. So this here is a teriyaki quinoa bowl. Um, I do a lot of Asian dishes, African dishes, just dishes from a cultural perspective. I don't just do one particular thing. This is broccoli, mushrooms,
Mm,
shrimp, scallions, carrots, avocado, snow peas, and quinoa, of course. So
oh
it's
my
a
goodness.
teriyaki quinoa bowl with a fresh made teriyaki sauce. So I
Oh,
don't like to do the store bought that's in the jar or whatever. I mean, you can go online and get any of these recipes online as far as to make a fresh ginger scallion, or excuse me, a ginger soy sauce, or the teriyaki sauce, which I made just with stuff that's in the cabinet. So So it's I feel like I'm eating fairly healthy when I do that. So this one turned out really well. I really enjoy this one. It's not a heavy portion. I make enough to last me a couple of days because I don't like to cook every day because it's just laborious and it's difficult to cook for one. So,
It
but
looks
that's
delicious.
one of my favorite dishes. I've come to I just recently started doing this dish. I just found it online and I prepared it.
You found it online. Well, you make it look
Um,
absolutely delicious. Oh my goodness.
it's all about presentation.
Now, what is this? Oh my goodness.
This one here is a lemon herb Mediterranean salad. Got this one offline too. It's grilled chicken, or excuse me, I put it in the oven, and so it marinated with a lemon herb dressing, which was also used as the marinade for the chicken and for the salad
Mhm.
itself. So it's got Kalamata olives, tomatoes, red onions, romaine lettuce, avocado in there. Um, and, I tossed all of the salad ingredients together and then laid the chicken. I cut the chicken in strips after it was prepared and then laid it on top. So it gives you a nice presentation
Oh
there.
my goodness, that looks good.
Very filling. A lot of people talk about salads not being, oh, it's not enough. And, but it's, for me, it's enough. I mean, depending on how fast you eat, it should take you 30 minutes to finish food anyway.
Absolutely.
Then you eat a smaller portion and give your brain enough time to tell your stomach that it's full. So, this one here is in the Mediterranean family as well, but it's more Middle Eastern because it's a shawarma chicken. So the seasonings are a little bit different, um, but it's got avocado and I think this was romaine lettuce as well, tomatoes, red onions, and then it has some little crostinis, which are just garlic bread or French bread that I cut and seasoned with a little olive oil and put those in the oven and let those get toasted in the oven. So,
Mhm.
so
Wow.
that was very filling as well.
And how long does it take you to make this particular dish?
So pretty much all the dishes. Most of the prep time is like cutting up the vegetables and things of that nature. So
Okay.
I can go about an hour, hour and a half from start all the way to plating and then sitting down to eat. And then I go, yeah, it's about an hour, hour and a half. It just depends on what dish. And I mean, because none of these dishes are complicated in my mind. I figure if you can read directions, you can cook this. People think, oh, this looks too complicated, and it really isn't. I mean, it's not like I'm doing something that would be on like one of these super top chef shows or Iron Chef or something like that. I'm not doing any of that. But if you can grill chicken, you can do this. If you can put a salad together, you can do this. It's just getting the ingredients together. So it's not that difficult.
Wow, it looks delicious. Oh, this looks divine.
Yeah. So
Mm.
this is for my vegan, like real vegan people.
Okay.
This was a play on the Chipotle burrito bowl. I got this recipe online. Um, and this is basically going from counterclockwise. There's the black beans and tomato, cherry or Roma tomato and corn, onion and cilantro on the left corner, and then I have some jasmine rice,
Mm.
guacamole, and then next to the guacamole is a lentil walnut Roma tomato.
Ooh.
That's what the recipe called for to make it as quote unquote the burrito meat.
Okay.
Um, and so to have that there, and with obviously the tortilla chips, and then there was a salad, romaine lettuce in the middle, which was tossed with a mustard lime dressing that I had to make. And so, people are like, you make your own dressing? Well, it's not that hard. Trust me, it's really not that hard.
Mm.
This particular recipe gave you the ingredients for it. And so once you had it, it's like, okay, it really isn't that hard. So that's good for someone that is vegan. And if you don't want to be vegan and change the meat out, and you can make that meat be whatever you want. You
Hmm.
know, it doesn't have to be, vegan.
That looks delicious. We need to stay healthy, so definitely without any meat, it looks delicious. It looks great.
Well, your plate should be full of color, and
Hmm.
that's how you know that you're getting um, the nutrients that your body needs. As opposed to, I mean, don't get me wrong, I had my share of cookies. Hell, I had an ice cream cone before this came on. So, um, I don't necessarily deprive myself, but at the same time, I, there's a healthy balance, and it's in moderation. So I try to do a lot more healthy items than unhealthy items. So.
That's awesome. Ooh, now what is this? Oh my
Uh,
goodness.
okay, for anybody that knows, this is a salmon croquette on a
Mm,
this is a spring mix salad with cherry tomatoes, red onions, and avocado, and it has thinly slices of a Fuji apple,
mm.
and with a balsamic vinaigrette, which is basically olive oil and a balsamic vinegar tossed together, with a little salt and pepper in there, and then I tossed the salad, and then I set the salmon croquette. So everybody's had salmon croquette growing up. I
Yeah.
find it hard to believe that somebody in particular that's black has not had salmon croquette.
That's
So
my mother-in-law's favorite
yeah.
thing.
So growing up, it was always salmon croquette with some beans and some rice or something like
Mhm.
that, right? A little bit more carb loaded. Well, this one gives you a more healthy alternative here, because then you've got the salad, you've got a lot of vegetables with it, and so you kind of offset that a little bit.
Wow. Now, question, if you don't mind me asking, so do you fry it in a lot of oil, little oil, or how do you?
I don't like to deep fry stuff.
Okay.
So it is a very thin layer, very, 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 very thin layer of oil. So really just like the bottom of the crab cake is, or excuse me, of the salmon cake is sitting in the oil.
Okay.
Because if you think about it, when you're preparing it, the fish itself is already cooked,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
and then you put it all together, and so it doesn't need to like cook. So you know what I mean? So you just wanting the breading to get this kind of golden brown color. And I use cornmeal, and breadcrumbs and egg to bind it, but the cornmeal kind of gives it kind of the crispiness.
Oh, wow. That looks delicious. Oh my goodness. Ooh, what is this?
All right, so we got Asian inspired again, and this one
Okay.
is one that I found online. This is a ramen bowl, because you've got a lot of restaurants that are doing the ramen bowls now. And this has the udon noodles with um, tofu. I really enjoy tofu. I just had a tofu dish for lunch today. Um, and it's a vegetable broth. This could be a vegan meal for those that want vegan, because there's no animal product. Well, I'll take it back. The eggs are animal products. So this would be a vegetarian meal. Okay.
Okay.
Um, but and then it's scallions and
Mhm.
sesame seeds. So this was fairly light, but the noodles can be a little heavy, because udon noodles, if you've had those, they're kind of thick. They're big noodles, but I really enjoy udon noodles.
But I'm sure it's filling too.
Yes,
So,
yes, yes.
wow, that looks awesome. And now, how long did it take you to prepare this soup?
Actually, it should have taken me much longer. And so this was my first time making it, because when you make the broth, they're like, oh, it's gotta go for like 3 hours. And I'm like, I ain't got 3 hours. I'm hungry now. So I did a faster way, and made it work. I think the next time I do it, I will, now that I know, because I didn't really look at the ingredients, I guess, like I should have. But now that I know, I'll make the broth ahead of time and let that do its thing. And then, because this was a very fast dish to make. It wasn't a long dish at all.
Well, you did very good considering that was your first time. I mean, this looks like you're a professional chef. That's awesome.
Yeah, that I am not. I just know how to follow the directions.
You do very well. Oh my goodness, this looks awesome.
This
Wow.
one, this one is, you know what? This one is a chicken shawarma salad as well with arugula and avocado. The seasonings on there were different because I found them on a website. Actually, I saw they did a story on it on CBS this morning on this company out of New York, and they were talking about their seasonings that they make. And actually, I went online and looked at their stuff, and I was like, oh wow, they've got some really good seasonings. I think will be cool. And they had this salad, and I prepared it, and it turned out fantastic. That was a really good one. I'm gonna have to do that one again here soon because that
Oh
one.
yeah. That looks awesome. Wow. And I see some tomatoes in there and
Yeah, tomatoes, red onions, avocado. I love avocado. I do avocado almost every day. Um, let's see. I think that there were a few other things. I mean, I'm not a big bread eater, so you won't see a lot of bread for me.
mhm.
But uh, I'm sure if you wanted to toast some French bread or something to go with that, that would be nice. And since it's Mediterranean, maybe you want to do like pita or something like that, or a naan or something like that that would go with that.
Mhm. Okay, now what is this?
All right, I'm a soup lover. This one is a mustard and lentil soup. And
Mm.
so, like I was saying, it's hard to cook for one. And so this particular one, and I don't like to cook every day. So this one, the recipe, I do the recipe full out on soups just because um, I will freeze the rest, right? And I'll make individual servings and put it in the freezer. And so when I want some, I don't have to go and make a whole batch. I can just pull some out. I don't have to eat on this for a week, which I find that to be just overwhelming. So after the second day, if I haven't eaten it after the second day, I'm not going to eat it.
Okay.
But this has carrots, squash, onions, mushrooms,
Mm.
kale, lentils. It is a vegetable soup.
And
It's
that's what we need, right? To stay
Mhm.
healthy, we need
Yeah,
lots of veggies.
yeah. So you had a wide range of vegetables in there that I don't remember if celery's in there, but I mean you could add celery, you could add zucchini. You can make this just full of vegetables if you want.
And I
And
like,
this has no meat in it. This has no
oh,
meat in it.
okay. That's
And
great.
so
That's even
if you
better.
wanted to add meat, do what you want.
Hmm.
No hard fast rule. I mean, I'm trying to think of what would be a good meat to put in there. Maybe you could do some chopped chicken or something like that.
I like
Um,
the idea that it's no meat because sometimes your system needs a break from meat.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Because I don't like to do a lot of meat. I mean, my preference is more uh, fish and seafood,
Hmm.
just because of the ease of digestion. Um, and then I'll do chicken, but and I'll do red meat, but it's very, very rare, very rare. Just put it this way: there's no red meat in my freezer.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
I
And,
gotta,
and I
I
think
gotta,
red meat is
dinner.
tied
Mhm.
to mucus buildup too, isn't it? I've
Yeah,
seen,
yeah,
yeah. Hmm.
yeah,
That's good. That's awesome.
yeah.
Ooh, veggies
Okay,
again.
more veggies, more
Yes.
veggies. Like I said, that's how you know, I I try to stay inside, and the insides are well. Where like right now, I don't take any medications except for an allergy pill, which I've had allergies since birth. But I'll be 49 next week,
Girl, you look
and
good for 49. Eating those veggies and no
yes,
meat.
yes, and I work out a lot. I work out a lot, but
Um,
eating is half the battle, right? It's most of the battle. And if you're not going to eat right, then you're going to find yourself on a lot of medications that you probably don't have to be on,
yeah.
right? And
Mhm.
so, there is no, I heard this in a sermon one time, there is no money in your healing.
You're
So, so if you're healthy, they can't make money off of you.
That's it.
Um, so this one here is a teriyaki. Oh no, no, no. This was a ginger soy. Um, this was a ginger soy stir fry.
Okay.
Carrots, bok choy, Brussels
Mhm.
sprouts, um, shiitake mushrooms, bella mushrooms, scallions, Vidalia onion, um, I said bok choy, cabbage, Napa cabbage was in there,
Okay.
and
Hmm.
snow peas. And I served it over a bed of quinoa. Sometimes I'll switch between quinoa and jasmine rice. Is my preference is jasmine rice.
So
Um,
let me ask you this. Now, I know you're in Texas and I'm in Georgia. Do
mhm.
you run into challenges with finding the veggies when you get to the supermarket? I know here in Georgia, sometimes you can't find this, can't find. Are you
Absolutely not.
okay? Wow.
Absolutely not. So there's two grocery stores that I shop at all the time,
Okay.
and I go to Sprouts. Very seldom do I go to like Kroger or Publix, just because their variety is just not as vast.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
I'll go to Sprouts, but if I'm going for something like off the beaten path that I wouldn't, that's more international, I'll go to H Mart
Oh,
or an international grocery store. But H Mart, there's an H Mart there's two in Georgia, one in Riverdale and one um, off of it's before the exit off Buford Highway,
okay.
of the
And
top of
specialize in fruits
285.
and veggies. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and they have a very large, immense selection of vegetables.
Mm,
Um, that I go there and get a lot of my vegetables from there.
wow. Okay. So that's the key. Go somewhere with fresh vegetables.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Yep. You can always go to farmers markets too, but sometimes farmers markets going to be limited in what they have available because they are only going to bring what they grow. Um,
Oh, okay.
but at the same time, you kind of you cut out the middleman and you cut out you don't, I mean, hopefully they're not using pesticides, but um, if they're not, then you're really farm to table.
Hmm.
So
Wow. That's good to know. That's real good to know.
yeah, and that's the finished product. you
Oh,
know it
wow.
looks a little sloppy, but
Oh,
um,
sloppy. Oh my goodness. No, you look like it looks like this in a restaurant. You did awesome. You got your chopsticks.
yeah,
Okay.
I'm a chopstick user. When I cook Asian food, I like to do chopsticks. So
That is awesome. Oh my goodness.
yeah.
And you guys, that is Charisse Works, Healthy Dish Prepare Extraordinaire. Now, you guys ask her some questions. Feel free to just fire away. And while we wait on some questions to come in, people are saying delicious and all that good stuff. Let me go through some of the comments here. It says looks amazing. So let me ask you this, Reese. Where did you learn how to cook? Did you go to training? Did you?
I know.
No.
No, like I said before, I hate cooking, but I gotta eat. So,
Okay.
um, but I learned to cook my mom. I mean, I've been cooking since I was 13. I've burned a lot of dishes. Don't get me wrong, I'm no chef extraordinaire, but it's but I've been cooking since I was 13. I'm the youngest of four, and the only girl, so I had to learn how to cook. Um, and just during these times of quarantine, I've done more cooking than I normally do because working and stuff, and I get home from work, I'm not really interested in trying to prepare a meal. Um, so I typically have eaten at lunchtime, and then maybe a late lunch, maybe like 2 or 3 o'clock.
Hmm.
But that's all I'm going to eat. When I get home, it's just really going to be a snack. It's not going to be me sit down for a full meal. That's what I used to do when I was married. Dinner would be late, 8 o'clock, and that just was not good on my digestive system. But yeah, so that's how I learned how to cook my mom, and just um, over the years, just you get better, right?
Hmm.
You got to do it. You don't ever get better if you don't ever ever do it. So
Hmm. Definitely. One of the questions that came in, they wanted to know, do you use sauces or dressings on your dishes?
I do not do store-bought dressings at all, ever.
Ooh, okay.
I always make them. So all of the dressings that were on the salads were were made.
Okay.
Now the recipes that are on those that I found online, they will give you the recipe for the dressing to how to make it. And it's really, I mean, it is so much better than what you buy in the store just because you know all the ingredients. There's no extra stuff in it to so
So,
that it can stay on the shelf, so it can stay in the refrigerator, and you can make enough just for that serving, right? You don't have to worry about, oh man, I've got this whole bottle and I got to get through it, and then it sits there for 6 months and then you throw it out because it's expired.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So, you can make enough just for one or two servings, and then you've got plenty. So yeah, no, I don't do store bought dressings at all.
And also the store-bought dressings, is a lot of preservatives,
Yeah,
sodium,
yeah, and
sugar.
sugars. Yep.
Mhm.
And I try to watch my sugar intake. Um, just because if I'm gonna do sugar, my sugar's gonna be worth my while. Um, and I need to, so I tend to do like honey, or if I well honey or like agave or date nectar or something like that. That's more organic and doesn't have all that extra junk in there, right?
Mhm, mhm.
Um, so that's my preference.
Awesome. Well, I thank you so much for coming on the show and sharing your
Oh, thank you for having
eating
me.
tips. Absolutely. Tell everybody how they can follow you if they've got questions about your dishes or.
Hmm. Okay, so on I'm on Instagram,
Mhm.
and Lordy Jesus, I never remember my Instagram name.
Well, just give your Facebook. That
My
should be good.
Facebook is my Ghanaian name. I was in Ghana last year, and I was given a Ghanaian name. It's Abba, ABA, Nyamije. So Abba was the day of the week I was born, which was a Thursday, and Nyamije means God is good.
Oh,
So that's NyameyiE,
okay.
and Reese,
Okay.
Risse. So, and
And
then on Instagram, it's just Charisse. Is Charisse Works 30? I believe it is.
okay. And what I'll do is I'll make sure I put your information in the comment section too.
That would be great. That'd be great because you know what? The fact that I can't even remember my no Charisse Works '08 is my Instagram name.
Okay. It's all good. I have
Yeah,
I have so many I'll be forgetting too, so I get
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Well, thank you for coming on, and I thank you so much, and
Oh,
you're
thank you for
welcome here
having me.
anytime.
Thank you so much. You
Okay.
guys have a great night.
You too.
All right,
Bye-bye.
bye.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, as you saw, that was my guest, Charisse. I call her Reese. She does those dishes easily in her sleep. She says she gets them offline, but they look just wonderful, wonderful. So we need veggies. We need to eat healthy as we go through this pandemic to keep our immune systems up. Okay, so the next topic, the next guest is me. No, really. Let me just share with you guys. I was inspired by watching, as I said earlier, watching the DNC conventions and former First Lady Michelle Obama. And I've been watching some documentaries from John Lewis, Congressman John Lewis, um, rest in peace. He talked about doing something, right? Doing something. If you see something wrong, do something, even if it's a little bit of something. So I was charged with that. And I've been seeing all the stuff in the media about the United States postal system and mail and all this controversy with the election. And I just thought, you know what? I'm just going to share some common knowledge with everyone in case they don't know and how we can get out and vote. So, first off, I want to say some people may say, why should I vote? I'm not going to make a difference, but you are going to make a difference. People died for your right to vote. We have to vote. Right now, our economy is terrible. It's horrible. If you have any stocks on the stock market, you probably lost quite a bit of it. Um, People are out of work. So many people have died from this horrible, horrible disease. We have a leader that has no empathy. He says it's just going to go away, and it is what it is. That's terrible. That's terrible. We just need a better day. We need somebody that's going to heal us. We need somebody that's going to help us get through the pandemic. So we've got to vote. We've got to vote. That's just plain and simple. There's just no other way to put it. So with that, I'm going to get into a brief presentation to kind of give you my take on what we need to do to make a difference and get the vote out. Okay, so let me just start off by giving you this disclaimer. First off, voting rules are different in each state. I know I reside in Georgia, and I know I'm kind of reaching everybody from different states, Michigan, California, Texas, Florida, so forth. So please make sure that you check your voting rules or voting laws in your particular state. Also, make sure you check with your Secretary of State's office, and they will tell you if they have early voting, if you could do voting by mail, absentee, or all states you can walk in. So definitely want to make sure to check the other two if you're not comfortable with the standing in line and the going in and voting in person. So some people say, well, how do I do an absentee ballot? What is that all about? I keep hearing that on the news. What does it mean? So basically, first you need to make sure you are registered to vote. If you vote every year, then you know you're registered. But if this is going to be your first time, then you might want to double check that. And one of the ways that you can do it is to go to vote.gov. You can go there, and as you can see here on the screen, you put in your state, and it will tell you what your state law is, whether you can do it by an absentee ballot or you can do it by early voting, but definitely you can go in person. So you want to check that. And if you don't feel comfortable checking vote.gov, make sure you go to your state's Secretary of State's office to find the rules there as well. As I mentioned earlier, I'm going to use the case of Georgia because that's where I reside. So for example, I went to vote.org. I went there. It pulled up an absentee ballot application from my state local election office. And I can tell that it's actually from my state because as you can see at the top left corner, it's the Secretary of State. All you have to do is fill it out, sign it, and submit it. Submit it being mail it. Mail it now. Do not wait. As you know, there's so much controversy on whether the ballot applications will get in. Will you get your ballot in time? Will you be able to mail your ballot back in time? Don't wait. Do it now. And again, I can't stress enough, check the rules and the laws in your state. If you can do it by an absentee ballot and you don't want to stand in a long line, get on it now. And as I mentioned earlier, I went to the Secretary of State for Georgia for the Fulton County. And as you can see there, it gave the mailing address where to mail it. It gave you the phone number, the contact information, fax number, and email. Be careful with email because we don't know. You may not, some states may not allow you to send it in by way of an email. But for sure, we know you can mail it. So double check. I can't stress that enough. And then, of course, once you get the application, some states, in the case of Georgia, and again, every state is different. In the case of Georgia, you have 180 days prior to the election, and you have up until the end of the fourth business day prior to the election. Do not wait for that. Do not. Get on it now. Because if you wait until the last minute, and let's just say there is a controversy with the ballots and the mailing system and all of that, your vote may not get counted, and you don't want that. So we want to get on it as soon as possible. Do what you need to do now so we can ensure that your vote counts. So as I mentioned earlier, make sure you check with your local Secretary of State office. If they have an absentee ballot, fill out the application, mail it now, today. Make that be your to-do thing list for Saturday, right? There's not a whole lot going on other than going to work and the grocery store. Get on it now and mail it in. You have 7 weeks, you have several weeks to get it in. As you can see, I've got blinking at the bottom. We have 74 days to go until election day. So fill out the application, mail it in. They're then going to mail you your ballot. You get your ballot, you vote who you're going to select, and mail it the same day. That way you know it's in. I'm going to say it again. So fill out the absentee ballot application if your state will allow it. Fill it out, mail it. They will mail you your ballot. Get the ballot, vote for who you choose to vote for, and mail it the same day. Get it in so your vote can count. So if you have questions, make sure you check with your Secretary of State's office. So again, I just wanted to share that with everybody because right now you're just hearing so much stuff on the news about the controversy and the mailing system. And also, let me add to that, if you live in Georgia, if you live in Atlanta, I do know that Fulton County is going to have 20 drop boxes throughout and around the city and the county. So you don't have to mail in your ballot. You can drop your ballot in one of those boxes if you're in Georgia and in Fulton County. If you're not, just again, I can't stress enough, get on it now. This is important. We need you. We need you. So, in closing, I just want to thank my guest, Charisse Works, Healthy Dish Preparer Extraordinaire. I appreciate her coming on and sharing some tidbits with us about healthy eating and what she does to stay healthy, to boost her immune system. Those dishes look divine, look like they came right out of a restaurant. So, big ups to her. On a sadder note, as you all know, I am a roller skater, or some of you may know that I roller skate. And my husband and I, we roller skate, and we lost one of our skaters that we knew. Unfortunately, he passed away. His name was Mr. Dexter Phillips. Our thoughts and prayers go out to his family. He was a great guy. He spoke to everyone. He always said hello. He had just such a warm spirit, and he will be missed. So, RIP, Mr. Dexter Phillips. Also, I want to make mention to you guys on a positive note. Just think about this. So, going back to voting, right? I want you to think about this and think about this hard. It's not hard, but think about it. Just think if we lived in a world where we could live with less fear of being sick. Think of if we lived in a world where we had a leader that mandated masks. No ands, ifs, or buts, you got to wear it. Thus, bringing the COVID 19 cases down. If the COVID 19 cases come down, companies will start to hire again. And as you know, we have millions of unemployed individuals looking for work. Companies will start hiring again, cases will go down, and we can start traveling again. Can you imagine Jamaica, Bahama, Canada, all these countries saying, sure, come on, Americans, you can come over and visit. Now, I believe the only country that will let you visit is Mexico. Not that that's a bad place, it's a great country, but you can't go to Jamaica. You can't go to Canada. You just can't because we have too many cases. So imagine if we lived in a world where all that changed. If we had a leader that understood and helped us heal and helped us clean up the pandemic, until we can get medicine, a vaccine, what have you, we need to be able to live a normal, somewhat normal life. I don't know about you, but I'm tired of sitting in the house, right? I get excited now, believe it or not, going to the grocery store because that's one of the few places that I can go. That's one of the few places that is to go, unless you're having a big party at your house, which you shouldn't be, but if you do, that's your thing. But we need to get life back somewhat normal. So what if you got to strap on a mask until a cure or a vaccine or medicine comes out, but we're all alive and we're healthy? So that's why we need to vote. Please, please get out the vote. Don't wait to the last minute because just think if you vote and we can make a change and we can get a new person in the White House and change things, you can have your life back, somewhat a normal life. And that's what we all want, right? That's what we all definitely want. So, with that, I just want to tell you guys always remember this show is designed to motivate, inspire, and inform. And that's what I feel that God has called me to do, and that's what I'm going to keep doing. I appreciate you guys' support for being there for me and my live audience. And before I leave, I need to see if anybody's got any questions, right? Because I appreciate them so very, very much. Yes, my sister's saying she wants to travel again. I totally understand. Rockin' Richard Houston said he'll be standing in line to vote like he's buying a new pair of Jordans that just came out. Yes, please treat it as though you're buying some new shoes. Definitely, definitely, especially Jordans. Yes, and Fernanda in Michigan, she said the world is so divided. It is. We shouldn't be living in a world full of hate. We should be living in a world full of love. So you guys, please, please just get out and vote. We've got to do it. We've got to do it. And in the words of Mr. John Lewis, our congressman that passed away, he said, if you see something wrong, do something. And if there's nothing you can do, you can vote. You can definitely vote. So as always, I want to tell you guys, if you want to purchase my books, check them out on my website at www.dtlproduct.net. You can always view my show every week on Facebook on my author page, Dre Lett. On Instagram is author_Dre Lett. And on YouTube, it is Let's Talk with author Dre Lett. Make sure you subscribe and like and share. Spread the word because in these trying times, we need motivation, right? So I appreciate you guys. Remember, pass it on, say something good and kind to somebody, and tune in next week as we inspire, inform, and motivate. Have a blessed, fun weekend. And with that, I'm out.